Good evening, my name is Eliza, and before I sing tonight, I need to tell you something, not because I want pity, but because what you're about to hear isn't just a song. It's a promise, a memory, and the last lullaby my little girl ever heard. I wasn't always like this, standing here in second-hand shoes with a voice that's cracked from the wind and a heart that never healed. Once, I was just a mother. A young mother with nothing but a daughter in her arms and dreams bigger than the sky. Her name was Lily, and she was born on a rainy Tuesday in the back of a shelter near 8th Street. I remember it like yesterday, the way her tiny fingers gripped mine, like she already knew life outside the womb was going to be cold, so she held on for warmth. We didn't have much, not even a crib, but I had my arms and a voice, and that was enough to keep her calm. Every night, I would hum to her, sing to her, whisper to her, and for those few minutes, even the rats in the alley seemed to go quiet, as if the world itself paused to listen to a mother's hope. Her eyes were the color of honey in sunlight. Bright. Innocent. And yet, too wise. She didn't cry like other babies. She looked at me like she already understood the world, its hunger, its cruelty, its indifference. By the time she was 5, we had lived in 6 different shelters and 2 abandoned cars. But she never once complained. She would draw smiley faces on the fogged windows, name every pigeon she met, and laugh at things I couldn't see. She made beauty out of nothing, and somehow, that made the nothing feel like everything. But life, as it often does, decided that happiness was too expensive for people like us. One winter night, when we were staying under a highway overpass, Lily got sick. And when her breathing slowed, when her lips turned pale and her little eyes fluttered like a dying candle, I did the only thing I knew. I sang. I sang the lullaby she loved most, the one about the moon and the sleepy stars and the wind carrying her away to dreamland. Her head rested on my chest, and I felt every beat of her fading heart. Her last words were, "Sing, Mama," and I did. Through my tears, through the shaking, through the panic and the storm, I sang until her tiny body went still, and even after, I kept singing, because I didn't want the silence to take her too. People talk about trauma like it's a scar, but this wasn't a scar, it was a hole. A hollow place where sound used to be. I wandered for days afterward, carrying her tiny body wrapped in a scarf, not ready to let go. Eventually, someone called the police. They took her away gently, but they didn't look at me like I was a mother. They looked at me like I was mad. Maybe I was. I didn't speak for months. I couldn't. The world had gone mute without her voice in it. Every bench I sat on felt colder. Every child I saw felt like a knife. But one day, I walked past a church, and I heard a choir singing. And in that melody, something stirred. It wasn't healing, not yet, but it was air. And for the first time since Lily's last breath, I took one. I started singing again, quietly, to myself, in alleys, under bridges, by fire barrels. And slowly, people began to listen. Not because I was special, but because sorrow is a language we all understand. One man left me a blanket. A woman gave me soup. A little girl once sat beside me and asked, "Is that the song of angels?" I nodded. Because it was Lily's song. Her voice, through mine. I don't have a home. I don't have a grave to visit. I couldn't afford one. But I have my voice. And as long as I can sing, my daughter isn't gone. She lives in every note, every breath, every tear that falls when the music finds someone else's pain. Tonight, I stand on a stage I never dreamed I'd reach, not with clean hair or a perfect smile, but with the truth in my lungs. The truth that love can outlive death. That music can raise the dead, even if only for a moment. This song is not just a performance, it's a resurrection. A mother calling out to the sky, hoping her baby hears her from whatever light she sleeps in now. So, if I close my eyes while I sing, don't worry, I'm just picturing her, curled against me, warm for once, safe for once, alive again, even if only in the sound. Thank you for letting me bring her back tonight, if only for 3 minutes.
In a world that never saw her, in the cold beneath the storm, she was just a child of silence, but in my arms she wasn't alone. No roof above to shield us, no door to call our own, just the stars and whispered lullabies and a mother's tired tone. They called us ghosts in alleyways, shadows no one dared to know, but to me she was the sunrise, in the frost and in the snow. My arms were her home when the world looked away. I held her through hunger, through the long endless days, when no one believed us, when no one would see. I wrapped her in love and she rested in me. Her smile could light the twilight, even when the night was mean. She'd trace her name on windows and dream of grass so green. She called the pigeons family, she'd dance beneath the rain, and I'd sing her back to laughter, even when I carried pain. I told her she was beautiful, though her coat was worn and thin, and when she'd ask, are we invisible, I just hold her close again. My arms were her home when the cold winds would cry. She laid on my chest like a prayer to the sky, and when her breath faltered, when her skin turned to snow, I sang her the song that I needed her to know. She said, Mama, don't stop singing, even when I go to sleep. And I sang with broken pieces while my soul began to weep. I begged the stars to save her, but they blinked and turned away. So I gave her peace in melody as her soul slipped far away. My arms were her home and this voice was her light. I gave her my lullaby when the angels took flight. She never had a cradle, but she left with a song, and now every note I sing keeps her spirit strong. Now I sing on empty sidewalks to strangers passing by. Some stop and leave $1, but most don't meet my eye. Still I keep her song within me, like a fire under snow. And even if no one listens, I know she'll always know. My arms were her home when the world gave us none. I held her like morning till the rising was done. And though her heart stopped beating, mine learned a new tone, a handful of sorrow that keeps me going alone. One day I'll walk into the light and see her standing there. She'll run into my arms again, and I'll breathe her name in air. No more streets, no more shadows, no more sleeping in the rain. Just the sound of her laughter calling through my pain. My arms were her home, now my song sky. I'll carry her always till the day that I die. So if you hear me singing, no, I'm not alone. I'm holding her close and bringing her home. She was never just a memory. She was music, and music never dies.